What's going on YouTube, and welcome to another one. Today we will actually be doing my favorite games to play on the RG406v. Let's go ahead and get started. Starting with Mario Kart 7. Now this is for the 3DS, and honestly this is on here for nostalgia reasons. I had this growing up. Well, not even growing up, I remember specifically playing this in college, really, to be honest with you. I love the fact that the 3DS on the RG406v has these bezels. Like, I love how it has that 3DS bezel. You get the top, you still get the bottom on there. I think it would be kind of cool if you were able to switch out the color, but I like Mario Kart 7 the best because it's already in pocket form. It's in pocket format, but then on top of that, you're getting all the best features of all the different Mario Kart. Honestly, this game looked like it's supposed to be on here. Okay, moving on to Super Smash Bros. 3DS. This is another game that I had for the 3DS, so it's on here for nostalgia reasons. But what I like about this version of Smash is, again, it's one of those games where I like the variety of gameplay. You're getting all the best features from the previous Super Smash Bros, from the maps, from the characters, and then you're also getting that 4-player action. This is definitely a pick up and play friendly type of game. Like, anytime I have like a quick 10 minutes that I just really want to play a game, or if I just really want to kill some time, this is definitely one of those games where I can easily pick it up. Maybe can hop back into what I was doing before. The controls are about 80% accurate on this game. What I mean by that, when you're trying to hit your smash, it may not hit all the time, so it's about 80% accurate, but that could be just because of how I play. Either way, it's a good game, and you should have a good time playing this game on here. Okay, the next game on my list is Sonic Generations. This game is really for nostalgia purposes. I remember specifically buying this game right before a flight and then playing this game on a flight. One of the interesting things about this game is the fact that you're playing Sonic, but you're playing two different generations of Sonic. So you're playing the Genesis version of Sonic, that model of Sonic on the 3D levels, and then you're playing the newer version where you're playing as the newer version of Sonic, the Sonic that is in the Super Smash Bros. Series, playing with that version in the older levels as well, and it's all in a 3D format. So it's really cool just being able to play this. Next game on this list is Mario Kart Double Dash. This is the best Mario Kart in my opinion. Really the greatest of all time. Being able to have two characters and be able to switch them out based on their power-ups is definitely one of the coolest features. I specifically remember playing this game growing up with my sister. We had this on the GameCube. We had the silver one. Sometimes she would drive, and I remember specifically being in the back, in the back of the car, like hitting L and R, because you were able to punch. And what I was able to do was she would line it up with a character. She would line it up with somebody that was racing against us, and then I'm punching like I'm trying to knock them out. Sometimes she would get mad, though, because when I would do it, she would specifically miss a box, and she'd be kind of tight about that. But, this is on here for nostalgia reasons. But, shout out to my sister. She is a chef now on TikTok and Instagram. Be sure to follow her, Neuro Kitchen. She does eventually make it to YouTube. I will be sure to tag her in that, so be sure to follow her. What I love most about this game is the map and the drifting features. You do have to hit the trigger in the back to hit it, but it feels good on this game for sure. Next game is Soul Calibur 2. This is my favorite fighting game franchise. This is number one for me, mainly because this one specifically caught my attention through the arcade. So I saw it through an arcade. I'm at my mom's university at the time. She went to DeVry, so shout out to her for that. She would drop me off in the cafe. That's back when you could do stuff like that. She would drop me off in the cafe while she was in class, and they had an amazing arcade section in there. And Soul Calibur was in there. This is the GameCube version. This is on here because, of course, you get to play with Link. I would prefer, personally, to have the Xbox version because that's the one I had growing up, and you had Spawn. But this is cool, man. Ain't nothing wrong with playing with Link, but you also get your classic characters like Maxie, Kalik, Mitsurugi, and all those guys as well. This is also a great pick up and play friendly type of game. So if you're waiting for your coffee, waiting for an order, waiting for anything, really, this would be a great game for that. Waiting on your kids, anything, definitely pick up and play friendly. Next game is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. I'm a huge fan of the series, and this is like a continuation for me. I used to play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. 1 and 2 a lot. Then I just kind of fell off from the series, and now I'm able to really be able to play all the ones that I missed out on. So being able to play 4, I feel like this is like a good grounding for me because it's still like that classic format. It's still achieving goals. It's still able to hit cool tricks, but without having to go through like that open world format in which they kind of did later on in the series, which is totally fine, but this is still like that classic mode for me. This is one of those games where it's great for content. So if you just want to hop on TikTok or Instagram, create some quick reels or shorts, you can definitely do that with this game. One of the things I like to do is I like to switch out the music. I would go to the options and I would just turn the music all the way down, and I put up Spotify in the background, and then I continue to play my game, just kind of getting like a different vibe. And then I'm also recording in the background, so if it's a more updated and more popular song and I'm doing my thing on here and I'm hitting tricks and I got a nice little run going, I can just easily clip that, post it online, and then potentially get a lot of views. Next game is the greatest basketball game ever created, NBA Street Volume 2. What can I say about this game other than, again, it's the greatest basketball game ever created, and it just so happens to be in my pocket now. Greatest of all time roster. The roster is insane. You're getting like a young LeBron, you're getting young Melo, you still got Iverson in here, you got Kobe, you got Shaq, you got Vince Carter. The roster is insane, but then you're also getting the old school roster. You got Jordan. Let's just stop it right there. You're getting Jordan. Like, this is at a time where getting Jordan in the video game now is like on some regular, because you could just buy 2K. But this was before, where Jordan was out of every video game. This man was like created player type 99, name not in game type. So to have him in this was super W. But you're getting all your favorite NBA characters doing the most acrobatic dunks. You get a fire soundtrack. Actually, yeah, this is the best soundtrack in a game of all time as well. I will never mute this in no occasion, no situation. You also, it's street style gameplay. So they're doing tricks, over the top tricks. They're throwing it off your head. They, slow motion. They flipping. They doing all type of stuff. And they're based off of realistic spots as well. Next on the list is NFL Blitz 2003. I'm a huge fan of the NFL Blitz series, from the arcade cabinet all the way to the home versions as well. I actually plan on getting the Blitz arcade cabinet really soon, but I have the GameCube version on here because I like the new option. With the C-stick, you're able to tell like your highlight player to either blitz, safety, protect, get open. You just have more control over the game with this option. And then you also still get your late hits, which I love about Blitz. Like, that's what make Blitz, being able to knock your opponent out, whether they had an amazing play or whether they got sacked for 35 yards. And you pretty much can send the whole team after them. And what I like about this as well is they keep a tally of how many late hits that you got. So that's a bonus feature for me. It's also classic gameplay with the updated roster. And when I say updated, in my opinion, it's just the updated when I really, really was into football. One of my favorite players of all time is on here, Michael Vick. So, of course, I'm picking the Falcons over and over again just to play with Vick. All right, next game on here is NBA Jam 2001. I feel like this is the pre-NBA Street Volume 2. This is even more over-the-top dunks with all of your NBA roster. Well, not really all of the NBA roster, but it's 3-on-3 gameplay with the 2000-2001 roster, so we'll take that. They definitely have a unique scoring system on this one. Specifically, if you get a hot spot, the hot spot can be labeled. The hot spot can be number 3, 4, 5, 6. It don't matter. Like, you could be down maybe 10, 15 points in the third, and then by the fourth, you could maybe be up maybe 5, 10 points and then potentially win the game, and vice versa. So this one of those games you just never want to count yourself out of. It's definitely pick up and play, but it can be frustrating for sure if you start playing throughout the season mode. All right, next game is MX versus ATV Unleashed. So I had the PSP version of this. Me and my sister both had this on PSP. I definitely remember playing it a little bit. But what frustrated me most was the online part. This was when online was still kind of like a new feature, and I did get to enjoy it a few times, but it just wasn't as strong as what it could potentially be today. But anyway, I did have this growing up, but this is nice being able to play this game again, but then also knowing that this is a PS2, well, able to run and play PS2 period. So I'm just exploring titles right now. And this is really fun for me to play. You are able to do a lot of tricks on here, but I'm so focused on winning in this Supercross mode right now to where I'm not hitting anything, but it's so tight with the controls to where you can control just how much spring and bounce you have off the jump. So you want to make sure you hit it just right, because if you don't, one, you're either going to fall or you can end up potentially losing torque and power, and then people just get in front of you. And lastly, the game that I'm playing probably the most right now is WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. Mainly because, one, it is hilarious. Just about every PS2 wrestling game at that time was funny, but this one I enjoy this one the most because, one, it's easy controls, but then two, the roster is legit. And the best mode on here, in my opinion, is TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs. You want to make sure it's the title match specifically, because at this point, It's every man for themselves, and you want to make sure that you're paying attention because you could be in the corner going crazy on somebody, and somebody slid up the ladder and grabbed the belt. If you're looking for content specifically, or if you're around a bunch of friends and y'all just want to play something really quick, I would definitely suggest picking this one up. You're going to have a great time. Even if you're playing by yourself, you're not going to get the same vibe or the same type of fight twice, even if you pick the same exact wrestlers over and over again. Great game, can never go bored with it. And then what I do want to say is you should definitely check out the story mode too, or not story mode, the season mode. I definitely had a couple of laughs playing that. If you know, you know. They have a scene with Rikishi, and boy, that one is hilarious. That's just crazy that was even allowed on a PS2 back then. But anyway, definitely a great time. Definitely pick up and play friendly. Definitely if you want to sit down and play for a while, I think you could do this. This is a great game for a stream as well. A lot of reaction type of gameplay. Yeah, the controls are simple when it comes to this game. So once you know the basic controls as far as grappling, you know the grappling and how to pick up weapons and how to climb things, you're good to go in this game. So this is definitely one that you want to add to your collection. If you haven't, you're going to have a great time with this one. And that will pretty much wrap up what I'm currently playing on my RG406v. If you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. See you guys next video.